It's not clear what Trump is planning, but it comes after he ordered the deployment of federal law enforcement agents to patrol the city. The ATF and U.S. Park Police are among the agencies posting photos on social media of agents out in the city. Last night, D.C. police say they arrested a minor for allegedly firing a gun towards a crowd in the busy Navy Yard neighborhood. No one was injured.
We have a capital that's very unsafe. We're going to do something about it.
For years, Trump has criticized Washington, D.C. as unsafe and dangerous. This week, he suggested the federal government could take over the city after a government staffer who used to work for Elon Musk was attacked in an attempted carjacking, according to authorities.
This has to be the best run place in the country. You're going to be safe walking down streets. You're not going to get mugged.
While Washington was one of America's deadliest cities in 2023, violent crime has been down for 2 straight years, hitting a 30-year low in January. Washington Mayor Muriel Bowser is pushing back on the president's claims.
If the priority is to show force in an American city, we know he can do that here. But it won't be because there's a spike in crime.
Lindsay, the president has also floated sending the National Guard to fight crime in D.C. Mayor Bowser says federal resources would be better used to hire more prosecutors and judges.
What's up? What it do? It's Uptown Eon. It's DC Blacks. Welcome back to the channel. Whether you from DC or abroad, if you watch the news anywhere, or even if you're on social media, you've seen all the images and all the videos of the federal agents taking over DC, swarming the trenches. Legacy media, as they call it, have been covering it, but they've been covering it from a specific angle. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to collect some images of real live DC and show it to the people. Right now, and as today, before I even had a minute to upload the video, Donald Trump is taking control of the local police department. Most people that come from a city that lives in a state, you have a police department, town to town, city to city. Basically, our police department, our local police department has been taken over by Pam Bondi and Donald Trump. So it's a federalized city. The only reason that DC has a local autonomy or reason to self-govern is from a thing called home rule. Now, I don't want to talk you to death about home rule, but I have a video that you can watch right after this video where I break down home rule for people that's interested in it. But home rule has been somewhat eroded by Donald Trump taking control of the DC Police Department. Putting Pam Bondi in control of the police department is the first step to taking over Washington, D.C. Let me know what you think. Free the men. If there's anybody out there that's tiptoeing or walking a thin line where it comes to law and order, be very careful. A lot of things that we are able to do in the District of Columbia is only because we have home rule and self-government, a little bit of autonomy. Now that the feds are taking over the DC police, that means that anytime you encounter a DC police or a DC police encounters you, if you're a local native, that means that you may be under some type of federal scrutiny.
I was in DC during the murder capital years, like the late 80s, early 90s, but I was actually a young dude that was a knucklehead. I was one of those guys that people are saying that are the young guys that's a part of the problem now. I was one of those same guys in 1992 and 93 when Sharon Pratt Kelly brought in the National Guards. And, back in the day, I used to hustle on Rittenhouse Street. I used to hustle on Kennedy Street, too. And for those from Washington, D.C. that remember this era in time, they brought the National Guards in before. They was here. I mean, if a person remember that, they should also remember the orange hats. But my point of bringing this up is that I found a video in the process of looking up this stuff right here. It goes back to the time when the National Guards were here. So I want you to check this video out. But for those who are wondering how long that the National Guards that Trump is sending in right now will be here, if there's any, if the past is any prediction of what the present or the future may be, they didn't stay for long. However, the mayor brought the National Guard in, not the president. That's a big difference. Once the president brings them in, he's taking control of a certain amount of power that I think only he can give back. However, check out this video for those who don't know that the National Guard's been here before. Washington, D.C. has been under siege. It's always a place where politicians and bureaucrats can cover the canvas like an artist with any type of stroke of the paintbrush.
The National Guard will be out on the streets of D.C. this morning. They're joining residents and police in an attempt to cut down on crime. Our Ron Talley is live at police headquarters with the latest. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning, Daria. If anyone thought that this latest crackdown on crime by Chief Larry Soulsby was short-lived, they can think again. It continues en masse. 15 more arrests yesterday in one raid alone. 2 weeks ago, Chief Soulsby promised to move his desk officers onto the streets, and now he's struck a deal to get neighborhood street patrols help from the National Guard. If nothing else, the sight of military-type vehicles set up for night patrols in D.C.'s residential neighborhoods gives the appearance the district is serious about its latest assault on crime. Members of the D.C. Air and National Guard are now helping police and neighbors patrol some of the district's more drug and crime-infested streets. The goal here is to interrupt drug sales that have plagued this neighborhood. Drug sales that have in the past led to violence and murder.
We're assisting the Metropolitan Police Department in neighborhood watch, crime prevention in the D.C. metropolitan area.
The other plan of attack to take back the streets includes full-scale raids on the drug dealers, like this one on an open-air drug market in Columbia Heights that netted some 15 arrests. With 80 to 90 officers taking part on this raid alone, it's the latest, most visible sign of Chief Larry Soulsby's all-out assault on crime in the district, aimed not only at drugs, but also the gangs who deal them, and the rowdy night spots where they meet.
We are in this area to stay. We're in this area to help the community take back the community so they can walk these streets and enjoy the same freedoms everyone else does.
Well, that one drug raid netted some 85 grams of crack cocaine, street value $10,000. Daria?
What have residents been telling you out there? Are they happy about this? Looks like a war zone.
Well, you know, that's what the chief had promised early on, that he was going to have officers in the streets so you could see them, not only so that citizens would feel safer, but so that those who are using drugs and dealing drugs would see the police and move on and stop.